It's list time.
List time, yeah. So, we've been talking about this list for a while. We're like, are we going to do it? Are we not going to do it? I know T-Kettle really wanted to do it.
I do want to do it.
And it was TV.
TV, man. TV. I watch a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, I don't watch as much, but I watch a fair few. Mm-hmm. I watch a lot of, now that I'm looking at my list, I watch a lot of like comedies on television. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
oh, no.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
How many honorable mentions you?
17.
I only got 8.
17. And let me tell you, these are all like things that I have right now at a 9. Some of these shows I haven't even finished yet.
Uh-huh.
That are like I'm just really far behind on.
Yeah.
But like they're so good at the beginning right now.
Okay.
Actually, I can eliminate a couple like real quick.
Okay, just go ahead.
Shout out to True Detective season 1.
Okay.
Because I can't recommend the whole thing, but like it's a standalone anthology, and that season is my favorite season of television, like period.
Okay.
So you gotta watch it. Mm-hmm. We talked about this before, so I'm not even gonna bother. Making a Murderer.
Yep.
And a shout out to Nirvana, the band, the show. I mean, nobody's gonna be able to watch it because it's on Viceland and like it's impossible to watch it. But that show is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
So check those out.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't want to, like, I have, like, a bunch of shit written down for some of this stuff, but, like, I don't even want to get into some of these, because, like, they're pretty, like, obvious.
Uh-huh.
Like Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is fucking awesome. Like, I don't think I need to explain that.
Oh, yeah, obviously, like Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, like, all that stuff, yeah.
Oh, so good.
All right, I'll just name one. Daredevil.
Okay.
Great show. I've even loved the second season. A lot of people think the second season was a dip. I thought the second season was superior to the first. And I love that third season.
Second season has some really cool action though. Like,
it does.
A bigger improvement on action.
Yeah. So
like
good.
That stairway scene is insane.
Yeah, it's the best Netflix Marvel show, and if they decanonize the whole thing, I honestly wouldn't really care as long as they kept Daredevil and the Punisher, but mostly Daredevil.
Mm-hmm. So how many? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask you how many.
I got like 10. So
10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Peaky Blinders is like an amazing gangster show. It takes a little bit to get into. It's 6 episodes a season, 4 seasons. You probably have to watch like the first 4 episodes before you're like hooked on it. Uh-huh. But you know, it's got Cillian Murphy in it. Tom Hardy steals the fucking show.
Okay.
In season 2 he comes in, and then in the most recent season, Adrian Brody.
Damn.
And they're awesome.
Really?
Like it's like top notch gangster shit.
Okay. All right. My next honorable mention is Friends.
I
love that sitcom.
Dude, Friends is really good.
Friends is great.
Sherlock. It's getting a bad rap pretty recently.
Why? I thought people loved that show.
Apparently it's sexist.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really see it personally.
Okay.
But it's fucking awesome. It's a really cool retelling of like Sherlock adventures. It's got its own distinct voice. I saw the movie The Abominable Bride in theaters, which was awesome, and there were so many fucking Tumblr people there.
Oh god,
it was crazy. But yeah, I'd recommend the show. I like it a lot.
Listen, man, everything's sexist now, or racist, or something nowadays. It's kind of annoying. My next one is Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's also an honorable mention. Curb is the funniest show.
I haven't even seen, I've only seen like a handful of episodes, and I already love the show. It's so good.
It is the funniest show I think ever made.
Yeah.
He just understands, like, the frustration of getting a new soap bottle, and it just spins endlessly, and you can't open it, and he just chucks it. He just gets so pissed.
It's so good.
But, like, I also feel that frustration.
It takes the minutia of just existence and makes it hilarious. I loved it. And,
so good. Mm-hmm. Freaks and Geeks is an awesome first season of one season of television. It's got a great cast, James Franco, Jason Segel.
Yeah. You want to know something about that show that I didn't know about?
What's up?
You know that high school is based off of Chippewa Valley?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was looking for him in the, what was it? Oh, I went to school with somebody, I go to the place I work, somebody there went to school with him.
With Paul Feig or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, he was a class clown. Like, he was kind of a goofball or whatever. I'm like, oh, this makes sense, I guess.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
but, like, one of the best parts about that show is that with, like, every episode, it feels like it was filmed, like, chronologically, and it just seemed like everybody there became, like, good friends, and, like, it just became kind of infectious, and the laughs felt real. So I really like that show.
By the way, I'm adding more honorable mentions because more is coming to me.
Okay.
My next one, it goes along with Curbed, Seinfeld. It's basically kind of the same show, just with Seinfeld instead of, great sitcom, one of the best.
I actually need to watch that show.
I love it because the characters are not meant to be likable. I just watched an episode yesterday that was almost mouth-droppingly like, oh my god, like these characters are the worst. But that's the whole point of Seinfeld. And a lot of people, and Seinfeld's another one that's kind of been getting like some backlash recently, saying it's racist and sexist. These characters are not meant to be liked. They're meant to be the worst. That's the whole point of their characters. Mm-hmm. And
same thing with Larry David.
Yeah, that's who created the show, who co-created the show with Seinfeld. So yeah, it's duh. Duh.
Yeah.
It's but it's hilarious, guys. Grow a sense of humor, these people, man. These people do. I'm telling you.
This show, dude. There was a couple shows where I'm like, this is my number 5. Like, I couldn't decide. But I'm just not caught up on this one yet. I haven't seen the last season. So Fargo.
Okay.
Fargo is awesome.
Nice.
Like, the first 2 seasons were incredible. It's nice to see an anthology show have good ideas for each season. And actually, I think the second season was actually superior.
Oh, wow.
It got pretty crazy, and like it kind of acknowledged its fictional boundaries and stuff like that, which was really cool. And then like kind of seeing it like loosely tie into like the first one was kind of cool, and I kind of hope that they do that again with season 3.
Right.
It's awesome. You gotta watch it.
Sweet. My next one, I've had a lot. When I do these honorable mentions, I kind of get in a mode. Obviously, like, when I think of Friends, I thought of Curb. When I thought of Curb, I thought of Seinfeld. When I thought of Seinfeld, I thought of How I Met Your Mother. Mm-hmm. So, I love How I Met Your Mother, dude. It's so good. It's so great.
Despite the ending?
Despite the last episode, which was garbage. And the last season itself was not great, but it was something I could tolerate until that last episode. But me and you have a very different viewpoint about shows. Like, one bad season doesn't necessarily ruin the entire experience of the show for me. And I loved How I Met Your Mother as a whole.
It's a little different for comedy shows, though, because you can still enjoy the comedy, like, if you're coming back to it. There's so much there that, like, you probably forgot, like, some of the jokes when you go rewatch a series.
That's
like
true,
that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for, like, dramas and stuff like that, it kind of changes things for me.
No, I got you.
Next up, I got Luther with Idris Elba. It's awesome. It's
I heard
a cool
that
detective show. His character, what's really cool about the show is that with every case and with every like mishap that he has, he carries that with him, and it like fucks him up psychologically. And so it like everything means something, which is always cool.
Sweet. My next one is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really love this show, and it was on my list actually at one point, but the problem is that there were all these other really great shows, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has 2 kind of not great seasons, which is the first 2 seasons. It's in its 6th season right now, right? Yeah, it's 6th season right now, which I have to catch up on, but the first season is honestly quite terrible. And but then the second season I was like, okay, you're getting better, but you're still not that great. And then the 3rd season happened, and I was like, oh, okay, wait a second. Okay, this is getting good. The 4th season happened. One of the best superhero television shows. It became the best superhero television show.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it was so good. And the 5th season, dude, so good again. And I only saw 1 episode of the 6th season just because I've been so busy. But the pilot episode was pretty good for the 6th season, so... Which isn't a pilot episode. It's more of a season premiere. But whatever. So... But that's the thing. That's why a lot of people have fallen off of this show, and they're like, oh, that show's terrible. And I'm like, no, dude. You've only watched the first season. That's why you think it's terrible. It's gotten so much better.
I gotta continue it then.
Yeah,
I watched season 1 and 2.
Oh, you watched the 2 bad seasons?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, dude.
Exactly.
The 3rd season when it starts getting good. The 4th season when they introduce Ghost Rider. just
Yeah,
magnifique.
I think I got that spoiled for me.
I mean, it was in all the trailers that he was coming, so...
Well, no, like, not his existence.
Oh, like what happens to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so great. But it's weird because the fourth season is almost split up into mini seasons. There's like the Ghost Rider segment of season 4, and then the middle segment, which I won't spoil, and then the last segment. And it's so good. Mm-hmm. It's so good. And the fifth season's also really
It's crazy
good.
that this isn't in your top 5.
It was for a second. But now it's not, because there's...
Something pushed it out?
Yes.
Alright. I got Gravity Falls. I'm going to stay away from, like, anime, but, like, this is an animated show for kids. It's really good. It's really cute. It's got a really crazy villain who kind of pushes the boundaries of, like, what you can do with a Disney villain. Mm-hmm. He does, at one point, like, swap orifices with somebody to, like, suffocate them. So that's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a really good voice cast. Like, J.K. Simmons is in there's like a lot of big name actors that come in and out of it.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's in it. Yeah, and it's just really touching. Like, really good finale.
Okay. My next honorable mention is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
Yep. Love it.
Next, I got Mindhunter, which was a really promising first season of a television show. The killers and like that they based some of these characters off of, they would like take their interviews and stuff like that and like try to replicate their mannerisms, and it paid off really well. It's kind of like the birth of like criminology, and so from here, like, this is just a setup season, and they're just kind of like learning it, like the science behind it, and it seems like in the second season they're going to be actually like tracking like a real killer.
Yeah.
And so its setup is really good, and it's, David Fincher's behind it, so it's awesome.
For sure. My next one, never in a million years I thought I would have this, but I've been binging it lately, and it's a good show to have on in the background, which I still think deserves credit, and I think this is the best show to have on in the background, and it's Bob's Burgers, baby. And when it comes to adult animated shows, I think it's probably the best one. I'm not a big fan of like anything else. The Simpsons is like great and it's revolutionary, but me personally, I've never really watched it, but I don't have anything against it. Family Guy, can't stand it. Rick and Morty, don't like it. South Park, also don't really like it. So Bob's Burgers, I feel like is good for me. Like, that's my style of adult animated comedy.
Okay. Cool. I'm just going to rattle this one off and then just go to the next one. Twilight Zone, pretty self-explanatory.
I have Twilight Zone as well. Yep.
And then the other one, Ray Donovan, Liev Schreiber's.
Yeah.
He like cleans up messes for like celebrities and stuff. So like the first episode, like I think it was like a basketball player wakes up next to a dead woman. So he goes in there, cleans up the body, and deals with like press and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of a cool job, but also like it becomes the family. That's what's so cool about it, is because his family's just so fucked up in the head because of what he does and stuff like that, and it becomes kind of a comedy.
Damn.
Just out of it, they have outrageous lives.
So it's a cool job. Would you want that job to clean up dead bodies?
No, he's a badass though, dude.
Oh yeah,
he is so cool.
Nice.
So like, yeah, I watched I think 3 seasons of it, and I haven't finished it from there. I think they just did season 6.
Nice.
But it was me and my mom we watched it with my mom, and it's pretty fucked up.
Oh damn.
So like that was kind of crazy. But we loved it.
Nice. It. My next one is another animated show that needs to come back. Although it did end pretty well, so probably a revival is not that great. But Danny Phantom is fucking amazing.
Danny Phantom.
It's so good. And Butch Hartman is a huge comic book fan, so he brought like a really big comic book sensibility to Danny Phantom. There's even an episode where there's this villain named Freak Show who's a human, and he gets something called the Infinity Glove.
What?
Yeah, he gets something like called the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh no, sorry, it's like the Reality Gauntlet or something like that, where it's this giant glove that goes up his whole arm, and he has like gemstones that he needs to get, and then he can control reality. Dude, it's a total love letter to Marvel Comics and just comics in general, and I love it, dude. It's a superhero show, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't diss on Danny Phantom.
Dude,
that's my boy.
we always, every time like we'll play like a video game, and we have like a super or whatever alt, we'd always say, I'm going Ghost.
Going Ghost, baby. Danny Phantom is dope.
Yeah, dude. This is a recent one for me.
Yeah.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Just finished the first 2 seasons. And I can't wait for more. I'm falling in love with Rachel Brosnahan.
Okay.
She's my new Audrey Hepburn.
Nice.
It's like the birth of like vulgar comedy in like the late 50s.
Yeah.
So like she's pushing the envelope, man. And yeah, so she pretty much invented that kind of thing.
Nice, dude. Nice.
But it's really tasteful.
Nice.
I swear.
I'm just gonna say this: Parks and Recreation is an honorable mention, which is crazy because that was also on my list. But then I thought of something. Actually, this was on my list when we started, but then something came to my mind and it just bumped it off.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Can't wait to hear it, man.
Yep.
Steven Universe is a really good kid show. It's cute and it's got a really good arcs. Kind of like delves into anime.
Nice. Legion.
Oh shit!
Great show.
I need to finish that.
Great show.
How many more you got?
I got a couple more, but my next one is Making a Murderer. You already said that. And Twilight Zone, which you already said as well. So.
All right, so I got 2 more.
I got like 4. So.
Just name some off.
Black Mirror.
Okay.
Smallville.
Okay.
I know the last 2 seasons of Smallville were pretty terrible, but it kind of revolutionized superhero television, so I have to put it on here. Avatar / Korra, both those shows. I love them. They're some of the best animated shows of our time.
Another show I need to finish.
It's so good, dude. Here's the thing. I don't... You know, it's funny how I say I don't watch a lot of animated movies? I watch a ton of animated shows.
Yeah?
It's crazy. It's weird.
So does my brother.
Yeah.
It's his favorite.
So Avatar and Korra. And then I got 2 more after that, so you can name off.
Okay, I got Firefly. Man, that show was really good. Season 1. And they gave him the dick because they didn't they didn't have the money for it.
Yeah, it was an expensive show.
It was an expensive show. Nathan Fillion's an awesome lead. It's like a space western. And unfortunately, Serenity for me just really didn't wrap it up very well. The character, it kind of ruined some of the fate of the characters, and I kind of like ignored the canon of that movie. But yeah, they had so much like lingering, and that a movie just wasn't sufficient.
Nice. All right, my next one is Young Justice. Loved it so far. And my last one, speaking of Korra, is Voltron, the new one.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely fantastic.
The one on Netflix?
Yes. It's so good, dude. You have to watch it. If you like anime, because this is, I guess, is technically anime. There's debate over like if Avatar, Last Airbender, and Korra is anime. Anime purists say it's not anime.
Yeah.
And which is probably why I like it. And and Voltron is kind of the same way. But Voltron, dude, so good. You need to watch it.
Okay. And then lastly, I got Halt and Catch Fire, which is an awesome fictional look at like the computer boom. It's so good. It's sloppy. It has sloppy character moments, but like the ending is just so beautiful and just so. What was the word I used? It was never mind. So solemn that like I can ignore it. I loved it.
Nice.
And that's all I got.
Nice. All right, going to the main list.
Yeah, you want to start?
I'll start. This is what bumped Parks and Rec off. I'm going to get some controversy for this. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Ooh.
Absolutely fantastic show. Seasons 1 through 3. The reason this probably shouldn't be on my list is because after the 3rd season, which they're in like their 10th season right now, has been almost nothing but garbage. You know, ever since Steven Hillenburg left, that show went so downhill. It went so downhill. Have you seen any of the new episodes?
No.
They're horrendous, dude. They're so bad. Ever since Steven Hillenburg left, it was terrible. He said he wanted to end it on the movie because he made the 3 seasons of SpongeBob and then he made the movie and he said that was it. He's like, I'm ending it here. This was it's like the perfect show. And if that did happen, this would have probably been like my number 1, and I'm not even joking. But because it went on season after season of just getting worse and worse and worse ever since Steven Hillenburg left, may he rest in peace as well because he did pass away recently. Like that's why it kind of got bumped down to number 5. But the reason it's on my list is because those first 3 seasons, dude, if they were good, it probably would have been an honorable mention. But those first 3 seasons are more than good, dude. They are iconic.
They are.
They are iconic, dude. They're so witty. They're so creatively written. It's funny. It's almost like a workplace sitcom in animated form. This was almost meant to be kind of more adult oriented. Like it was supposed to premiere on like MTV, right? Or Comedy Central, something like that. And I can see that because there's a lot of adult humor in here. There's a lot of double entendres and innuendos in this show that still make me laugh.
Like the hooks.
That's funny. Or we might get 40 lashes. Oh my god, that's so bad. He's like, we might get 40 lashes. And then like Patrick thinks of him having 40 eyelashes. Because, 40 lashes, that's a slavery joke, dude.
I know, dude.
It's a slavery joke in SpongeBob. SpongeBob is fantastic in all of its, like, little innuendo jokes and adult humor that is sprinkled throughout. SpongeBob doesn't have hair. Or does he? Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely fantastic show. And those first 3 seasons, the Hillenburg seasons, are the only ones that are quoted, first of all. The only ones that are quoted. When has anyone ever quoted something from SpongeBob that's like post season 3? The only thing I can think of is Handsome Squidward, which, by the way, that episode is terrible, just in and of itself.
I've never seen it.
It's so bad. But Handsome Squidward, like the image, has become like a meme. But dude, those first 3 seasons are fantastic. That's when SpongeBob ended in my book.
Yeah.
So, and the first movie, fantastic.
All right.
I should have put that SpongeBob movie as an honorable mention for my favorite animated movies.
Yeah. We can throw that on there.
Yeah,
there you go. My number 5 was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
Oz. Oz is a prison show from like 97. Was a HBO show. Very violent. Still to this day, it's one of the most violent shows and gruesome shows I've ever seen, but it's super entertaining. There's not a single 10-minute span where something big isn't happening because it's a prison show. Characters can die left and right, and they can just bring in more characters. They do it all the time, and so like they have like, you're right. Whoa, wrong pipe, dude.
Oh god.
Whoa, what'd you do?
Oh. Something came up.
Over here.
Something came up and it burned my throat.
Oh.
You know what ever happened to you?
All the time.
Oh, that was bad. Okay, what were you saying?
Yeah, they have like gangs in the show, and so like there's gang wars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just crazy arcs between characters, and there's a lot of like redemption arcs too, which is kind of nice. It kind of balances it out. In this hellish place to see some positivity, but the show is just ultimately just super entertaining, and it's like from the 5 seasons that it has, it's nonstop. I don't know how the writers were able to do it. The best masculine soap opera I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, I feel like I know a lot of your top 5. Like I feel like I'm usually not confident in your lists, but this one I'm actually pretty confident in. And like what I think some of your top 5 is going to be.
Okay.
So
you want to write some down? See, because I have a feeling I know what your stuff is.
Okay,
a couple of your stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know all of them.
All right, sure. Let's write some of this down. Okay. And I had another one. What was it? Damn it! I already forgot. Crap! What was it called? All right, never mind. I'll think of it. But I got 2 for sure. I know are on your list, 100%.
Okay.
And I knew Oz was on your list as well. I knew that was going to be on there.
I feel like I haven't talked about it that much.
Oh, dude, you and David were over here like talking about it, like raving about it.
Oh, dude, I miss those days. We have not been able to find a show that like gets us together so like religiously. Because one of the times I blew off round 1 to watch 8 episodes of Oz.
Yeah.
To just kill the season.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You see, I knew Oz was going to be on there. I knew it was going to be on.
It
so
had to
I'll
be.
count that. I'll count that as one of my predictions.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, that's my number 4 now. This is a recent one, but I don't think a horror television series has ever been as good as Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Hill House. This is like, I've never seen All of Us. Is that what it's called? All of Us? I've never seen all This Is Us, sorry. Okay. I've never seen This Is Us, but people have said like this is almost This Is Us that scares you. And I can kind of see that because from what I hear of This Is Us, it's like it's like a dramatic show. And this is that and scary at the same time. The characters are fleshed out. They're fantastic. This is really the only horror show. Like when they announced the show, I was going to be like, how are they going to make a series that's horror? That just I just don't see that working because it never works. Horror series, like besides like American Horror Story, which I'm not that big of a fan of because I find it to be so goofy. This took itself so seriously, and I think Mike Flanagan understood that horror is drama that scares you. And this show is fantastic. And episode 6, where about 90% of it is just one take, is absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's like insane. It's mind-boggling.
Good stuff, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Good stuff. I really like that show, too.
Mm-hmm.
You probably... Okay, so you knew this was going to be on here, probably. Uh-huh. But you probably expected it to be higher.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that was one of my predictions.
Also...
I thought it was going to be number 1.
Yeah?
I thought it was going to be your number 1, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really did.
Oh, this is sick, dude. So we got some surprises in store.
Maybe the next
I
one.
also had what is it, the haunt... I put the house on the haunted hill because
I put that too!
That's what I wrote. I'm like, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. So, Breaking Bad is amazing. It starts off pretty melancholy. Just an everyday man, like... Not really everyday man, like a pretty smart scientist, like... fucking making meth because he's about to die and he needs to make it for his family to get some money. And what it just spirals into is just it's chaos. And with every season it just becomes more and more tense and he starts to lose his path with every season. Yeah. Until you don't even know who he is anymore. He's not Walter White. It's awesome.
It's Heisenberg.
Yes, he is. And season 5 is like there's almost nothing that can touch it as far as like crime drama goes. It's almost untouchable. There's some scenes, some lines of dialogue that are just jaw-dropping. And that's what a show should do. A show should always be getting better.
Nice.
And it's just amazing. This was like one of the best moments for basic cable television.
It was in the golden age of television.
Yes.
Like you said.
Which is funny because Oz came out before like Sopranos, and that's not even cited as like one of the things that shaped premium television, which is weird.
Yeah. All right, are we on to my number 3?
Yes.
Bates Motel is my number 3.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love this show. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, I thought you said Haunting of Hill House was like the best horror show or whatever. Yeah, it's because Bates Motel is not really a horror show. No. It's more of like a drama thriller, and it is absolutely fantastic. And I think the thing that really anchors it is Freddie Highmore's performance as a young Norman Bates. It is a little off-putting. I remember when they were advertising this show, it really kind of put me off guard how it took place in modern times. And I was like, that's just a little strange because, you have like Norman Bates using like a smartphone and you're just like, I don't know if I can buy that. But it works to its advantage because it takes place like in its own universe. It's not meant to be a prequel to Psycho. But the way they honor Psycho, and I won't spoil it, is absolutely fantastic. There were a ton of nods, and it's really cool to see Norman Bates like kind of evolve into who you know him to be. And you can kind of see the relationship with him and his mom and the dynamic between them kind of like rise and fall as it goes along. And you see like this unhealthy relationship form and you get to see the origins of that. So to see all the seeds kind of being planted like little by little each season to where he eventually ends up is absolutely fantastic. Because you get to sympathize with Norman Bates because you get to see kind of his downfall into his psychosis, I guess you could say. And it's great. It's great. And the acting is really good. It's really dark. Vera Farmiga absolutely steals the show. She's fantastic. My only downside is season 3. I still think there was 5 seasons, and I still think season 3 was the low point of the show. It really does dive into too many subplots that just I just don't care about. Yeah. There's so many subplots. I'm like, I do not care about this. Let's move on. But then season 4 and 5 really streamlined, especially season 5. Season 5 really streamlined the show, And season 5 is, in my opinion, the best season because I'm not going to spoil it, but the way they pay tribute to the movie Psycho, it blew my mind. Oh, I remember I was watching it alone in my room, and I was just like, I said it audibly. I was like, no fucking way. I said that audibly, and it was so good. It was so good because you don't expect it. They do something that's interesting, and I won't spoil it, but it's such a good show. You
got my imagination running wild. I was on season 4 when I stopped.
Okay, yeah. So there you go. Season 5.
You told me that I should finish it, and I might because I'm so close.
Mm-hmm. Season 5 is so good. Mm-hmm. It's so good.
My number 3
is
the best period piece ever made in anything. Mad Men.
I didn't put Downton Abbey, but when you said period piece, I guess.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
It's about, guys in the advertising business.
Yeah.
And, like, what they get right about the 60s is, like, everything. Mm-hmm. And what they get right about the start of the 60s is literally it's just the 50s. Uh-huh. And then it just slowly, over the I think it's 6 seasons of television.
Yeah.
They just slowly start to, like, everyone starts to lose their mind. You get to see how, like, historical events impacted, like, real people.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Like, do they touch on, like, the feminist movement?
They touch up on, like, everything.
And the sexual revolution.
But, like, they don't touch up on it, like it's, like, surrounding everybody. It's, right. Like, it kind of touches, like, with certain people. So, like, one of the characters, his daughter joins, like, a hippie cult.
Okay.
And so, like, that's how it explores that. It's not like everyone is a hippie and, like, everyone has contact with it. It's just, like, some character. The way they do it, it makes it so fluid and just so realistic. And yet they're able to explore so many avenues the way that they do it. And just, it's the dialogue, man, dude. There's so much good dialogue with, like, double meaning in it. Just fucking killer. Mm-hmm. And, one thing about the show, though, is, like, I was talking to some people, and they say that the ending is bad. Uh-huh. And I 100% disagree, and I think it's sort of misunderstood. Mm-hmm. I think it keeps to what that character would do in a certain scenario, and just the way that they resolve every character. Like, everyone has a good resolution. Like, everyone has at least a resolution.
Yeah.
And which is nice because there's so many shows like Dexter where you kind of became fond of some of the side characters and they don't get a resolution. They can get completely ignored, actually. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice to see that. It's a ride, dude.
Nice.
It is a ride. It's so entertaining. You gotta watch it.
Nice. My mom watched the whole series.
Did she like
recently?
It?
Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah. So did my brother. So I got to watch it a little bit here and there.
Nice. Okay. This is the tough part for me.
Okay.
Because I told you, my number 2 and
I know at least one of them, obviously.
Yeah.
But the other one, I'm kind of struggling. I think I know what it is, though. I wrote them both down.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know which one. Oh, I'm still debating. All right, my number 2. All right, it's New Girl. New Girl's my number 2.
Okay, I did not get it.
You did not get it? New Girl is one of the funniest shows that touches on extended adolescence and the age of the recession. So good. That's what this show was basically a commentary on during, like, that age of extended adolescence.
Quarter life crisis.
Yeah, exactly. I still feel like I'm in that. I still am in that. I relate to the characters so much, especially Nick, which might not be a good thing, but it's true. I relate to that character so much. Every character has their own defined personality. And every character steals the show. In every scene they're in. Every character plays off of each other so good. Me and my friends quote the show to each other all the time. It is one of the funniest, most well-written shows ever. And it's so touching at some parts as well. And it's just really, really funny and witty. And that's the type of comedy I like, you know? The last season of the show was... kind of bad. It was only 8 episodes and they really rushed it, and then the season finale or series finale wasn't that great because it didn't hit me on an emotional level that I thought it would. But I can't deny over how great like the show as a whole was. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. We built the Schmitty. all day. It's so quotable, and I love it, dude. It's so good, and the rewatchability of this show is so good.
I did not get that.
Yeah.
So you're I know what your number one is.
Yeah. Yo, David. Yo, Mitch. If you're listening, dude.
That's where that came from.
Yeah, that's New Girl.
I feel like you've told me that before, but I forgot.
Yeah, dude. It's such a good show.
No, stop.
It was almost number one. Because it's just so good. It's so funny.
So I've watched a lot of television, but I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Sopranos.
Uh-huh.
But actually, I'm watching it right now. But like with David, we haven't been able to like sit through it like Oz. It's just not. It's not there yet. It's taken some time to develop.
Uh-huh.
I hear it's amazing. I hear the ending sucks, unfortunately.
Yes, I know the ending actually.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty confident that I've seen enough to say that for sure the best show ever made is The Wire.
The Wire.
The Wire is the best show ever made.
Should have guessed that.
This is my number 2.
Okay.
So
damn.
So The Wire is so great because it's got amazing dialogue, so that gets you through it. There's so many characters in the show in like a good way, because what it wants to do is build a city. So it starts off with season 1 as like these detectives are hitting a wiretap for like a drug lord. So they're starting at the bottom. They're hitting the people that will give them something, and they have a code that they have. Like they go to like phone, what are those things, like phone booths or whatever. They go to those, and then they have like a special code that they type in to like contact each other. So basically like they're working to do that, and that's really cool. That's really entertaining. And then it goes through the whole process of how like the investigation works, from everything from like the lawyers and stuff, and like what they're able to accomplish, how the lawyers have to send it to like political people. So it just goes through the whole thing, and so you get to see the people working for like the drug lords, and you get to see them, you get to sympathize with them, and you get to see the detectives and stuff like that. You get to see everybody. And it's really compelling storyline, but then they keep adding with each season a new aspect of the city. So season 2 is easily the worst season. It adds the docks, like shipping, exporting. It doesn't really add too much to like the overall city, and it actually kind of gets abandoned like later on. So season 3 adds city council, and it adds like the politics of everything, and how the mayor wants to accomplish certain things and stuff like that, and it's just kind of hard to do with the way the city is, the way the budgeting is. That's the biggest part of the show, is like the budgeting. Yeah. And then season 4, best season of the show, is schools, and how like where the root of all evil kind of starts in the children, and how they get influenced by the people in their community and stuff like that. And it's so good to see like how the cogs in the machine like really work, and it's amazing. And then season 5 is like reporters. It's how news circulates and stuff like that. And so by the end of the show, you can see how one minuscule thing or one big thing causes a ripple throughout all of the aspects of the show, like through all of the facilities, and how everything kind of matters. And it's crazy how it all works. It's awesome. And you gotta watch The Wire, dude.
All right.
Fuck.
All right. My number 1, and I'm pretty sure you might know what it is. So
easy.
Are we gonna say it 3, 2, 1, and then we say it?
Sure.
All right. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Office.
No, it's The Office. It is definitely The Office, dude. This kind of revolutionized the workplace sitcom, the single camera sitcom, because before that, sitcoms were on a soundstage with a laugh track or a live audience or whatever. And obviously there are other shows that probably did it beforehand, but this one really just kind of like boosted it to the new level. The first season is obviously your typical bad first season. Like it's only 6 episodes. Same thing happened with Parks and Rec, and a couple other shows I can't think of right now. But that always usually happens with these types of shows, because they're trying to get their footing. But once they get their footing, this show becomes heartwarming, hilarious, touching, and so witty and clever. And it's just great. All the characters, again, kind of like New Girl, are heavily defined. They're hilarious. They have a personality to them. Even the minor characters in the background always have their personality and always have like their awesome little quirks about them. Like even just small people and small jokes like Creed or Meredith or Stanley or Kevin or whatever. They always have like, they steal the show all the time.
Stanley's the best.
Stanley's so good. Stanley is so good. The show is just hilarious, but it's hilarious in a very dry way, which I'm usually not. And it's not as dry as something like the British version of the sitcom, which is super dry. This obviously is a little more Americanized, but it's more optimistic. But it's still dry yet witty enough to keep my interest, and I love it, dude. And you care about these characters, Jim and Pam. That's the thing that hooks you in, and that's kind of the through line of the whole show. And it's so good. And when Michael leaves, I guess spoiler alert or whatever, the show does take a huge hit. There's season 8 is downright pretty terrible. Season 9 kind of returns it to form, but there are some kind of bad moments in season 9. But the series finale, and this is why I guess it kind of edged out New Girl. The series finale is so good. It's so good. It answers all your questions. It's so satisfying. And I loved it.
So you have a lot of questions throughout the show? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I mean, there was just some... It just answers... It just kind of closes all the little arcs it has. Mm-hmm. Like, there are things like, who's this person's parents? This person always talked about them being adopted. Like, are they parents? You know, stuff like that. And
gotcha.
And that's just to a very minor character. And that's just one example. So, yeah, dude. Seasons... and you get to see them grow as people. You get to see Jim and Pam grow as a couple and go through like trials and tribulations. And what I really like about that dynamic is that in the last season, Jim and Pam, they go through a struggle. I won't spoil it, but it's a very real struggle that real couples go through. It's not like this TV Hollywood movie style like crazy crap where one person cheats on somebody or like not. No, it's very real, and it's very subtle, and I love it, dude. Mm-hmm. And the way they reconcile is also very real. It's not like hyperbolized, you know?
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never finished it.
Yeah, the show is great. And it's very not politically correct, and it makes the show 10 times funnier.
Do you know my number one?
I actually have 2 down that you didn't even mention, so I'm just going to mention 2 of them. The 2 I had. Obviously, Oz I predicted, Breaking Bad. And the 2 I have is West Wing and Lost. And I don't know.
It's Lost.
Okay.
Okay, Lost is it's personally my favorite. That's the point of this thing. It's my favorite show.
Yeah.
Because it was actually the first show that got me into television. Actually, West Wing, I'm going to put that as an honorable mention because I have like 5 episodes left. Uh-huh. And I'm going to be really sad when it's over.
All right.
Even though it took a dip after Aaron Sorkin left. But that's all right. Mm-hmm. Not a huge one. Lost was just a huge deal for me. I was watching Smallville and that show, and those were the 2 shows that like live action shows that I was watching when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And something about this show, just even though people don't like it, because it does get really crazy. It does ask a lot from its viewers. It asks you to give up your pursuit for answers for the sake of like the characters like coming to terms with certain aspects of themselves, and it provides so much emotion, and yeah, I can understand why people wouldn't get that, because it basically is about a man of science turning to a man of faith, and so you're basically like you're not going to get all the answers if you're kind of a person of science,
right?
You're just not gonna you're not gonna feel it,
right?
And man, I'm not even religious, but like this idea totally resonates with me.
Interesting.
Man. And just not a single thing in any medium I can think of has done a better job of doing character development. You have a ton of characters, and to the point where I like they felt like family members to me when I was a kid. Yeah. I just knew them so well. Mm-hmm. And that definitely played a huge aspect of it. But I will say, And, you know, I'm not going to spoil too much, but, like, the show does get fucking nuts. Like, to the point where, like, there's time travel.
Oh, wow.
So...
That's crazy.
Yes, but, like, it's so good. The reason that they have it is to, like, provide a really strong, like, emotional center, an emotional core, and it works out really well. And, like, throughout the show, I think I told you this, I was watching it with a friend who... You know, he's very religious, and he was able to recognize in every season, like...
Is this Brian, or no?
No.
Okay.
Like a bit, like biblical symbolism.
Okay.
Like a certain story within the Bible that they're paying tribute to or whatever. For like every episode of the first season.
Yeah. It's
really good. And the show's gonna get you hooked if you watch it, because, you know, there's a lot of questions in there.
Yeah.
Like the first episode, there's like this monster that slaughters and like rips apart the pilot.
Damn.
And so, like, you want to know, like, what's going on with that. And, like, it's got good, thrilling moments.
Uh-huh.
But basically, it's all there because you care so much about the characters and what happens to them.
Nice. J.J. Abrams, man.
J.J. Abrams.
This is the best.
And I fucking love this show, man.
That's great, man.
It fucks me up.
Someone told me once I looked like Harley from that show, from Lost.
Hurley?
Hurley, and I wanted to slap them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, someone did say that to me once, and I laughed. I didn't want to slap them. I laughed at it. And not saying like a Hurley. That's not like a bad
Hurley's
thing.
a great character.
Hurley's a great character, and I'm not saying, you know, that to look like him is not necessarily a bad thing, but I just don't feel like I look like Hurley. Do you think I look like Hurley?
No, not really at all.
Interesting. Yeah. Sweet. So I did predict it.
There you go. Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been crazy if West Wing ended up, like, taking it. Like...
Yeah, because I know you've been talking about it a lot lately. That's why.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm killing it off. Like, I finished 7 seasons, and it's taken a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. No, I got you.
But yeah, dude, TV, dude, I watch a lot of it.
Yeah,
There's so many shows that, like, what could have been on there if like I didn't, like, the last season of, like, Westworld was kind of like whatever, the ending of it.
Yeah, I almost had Westworld on here, but I realized you haven't talked about it as much, so I didn't put it on my predictions.
Yeah, it kind of fell off a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I had for you?
Did you see the trailer for the new one?
What?
Did you see the trailer for the new season of Westworld?
No, I haven't.
It doesn't even look like Westworld anymore.
Well,
There's no Western.
That's the thing. If
influence.
In Westworld, the movie, there's multiple different worlds, like amusement parks, and one of them is like like a samurai one, and then there's like a Roman one. Oh, okay. So they're gonna go into one of those, I assume.
Okay. Aaron Paul's in it.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I fucking love Aaron Paul. Dude.
Yeah, dude, Aaron Paul. He's
amazing actor.
So underrated.
I did not. So what I had for you was Batman the Animated Series.
Oh yeah, that one too is real good. Also, Spectacular Spider-Man, Avengers Assemble. I watch a lot of animated shows apparently.
Yeah. So that's our show.
Yep. So that's it.